Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I am your host, my brother, the brother, A.D. Walker. I appreciate you guys rocking with us and hanging with us this morning. We're about to have a rousing good time. Um, so I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys being a part. I appreciate you guys coming in. Um, and we're going to talk about, can men handle rejection? All types, not just the one. So we're going to really dig into that conversation today. Hope you guys are ready. So make sure you tag some brothers, tag some sisters, tag some people, tag an enemy, tag everybody. Let them know that the Brothers of Legacy is in the building. Good morning, Lisa. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. So we're going to have a great conversation because this is one of those conversations we're just going to have. I've seen some rough reactions to rejection, and it's and of course nothing is ever all. They say all or nothing. There's always some that handle things better than others, but we're going to talk about the process and how we personally give some transparent point of views about handling rejection and how we deal with being told no. And like I said, this no is going to cover all aspects, not just the one space where it's relationships, but being rejected at work, on the job, being told no in projects and loans, pretty much every aspect where rejection can come into play, how we handle it, how we may have handled it, and how we're handling it going in the future. So I want to dig into all of that and then some. We got some time to really talk here. I want to take our time, dig into the thought process, what happens and how you feel, because we all go through certain things, and rejection, and a lot of times the rejection is not not necessarily the thing that sets us off, whereas it's I get set off at the moment, but it's because of things prior to. We have past feelings. Some things relate this rejection moment to a failure, or a rejection moment to something that happened before. Great morning to you, grand rising. Willette, good morning. So we get caught up in our belief systems and our past feelings, and a lot of times we carry that so much so that when we are rejected, it's a culmination of other things, and we're not facing the rejection for the moment that it is and why it happened. What part did we play in getting rejected? Good morning, Keita. Good morning, Keita. Good morning, Mama McCory. Great morning to you. Great morning to you. So yeah, we're gonna dig into all that and then some. So I want you guys to stay tuned. So this is your opportunity to share. Make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Tag somebody that wants to be in this conversation. And I know every conversation you've talked to somebody about it. Tag them in this conversation. Maybe you'll be right. Maybe they'll be right. But we're gonna talk about it either way. And if you've not joined our community, make sure you join our community. Text 84576 to LWN. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. That's it backwards. And never miss an episode of Brothers of Legacy, Purposeful Forever. We dug into about, I just went blank right there. Last night, we talked about smelling the roses, enjoying the moments. So had a great conversation there. And if you missed it, definitely check it out. But if you text LWN to 84576, you'll never miss an episode of either, nor Sisters of Legacy tonight. They're going to have a great conversation. If I'm not mistaken. They're going to tap into some businesses and talk about business and finance and starting your own. So definitely join them tonight. And Solomon's Temple Christian Ministries as well. And it's all for the housekeeping. But definitely today, we're talking about rejection, handling it, how we handle what you do with it, where you stuff it. Can you deal with it? And I know this is going to be mostly a men's panel, but I want my ladies to think, how do you guys handle rejection? Can you handle rejection as well? How do you receive rejection when it happens? And like I said, not just in a relation standpoint, because I know that's the first thought. Like in a relationship, I got told no, or I got turned down. In my relationship or job, finance, banking. How do you handle rejection when someone tells you no? Hey, I need a favor. Can you? No, I cannot. All right. So stay tuned, stand back, stand down. We're going to jump into this and we'll be back. Uno momento, por favor. All right. Right after this. I didn't want to catch
Good
that.
Morning.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Good morning, everybody. This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. Ready to go live? Go to bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. That's bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. This episode is also brought to you by Self. Build credit now. Go to bit.ly/now build credit. bit.ly/now build credit. Yeah, and we're Bizak on the Tizak. So stand back. All right. So listen, it's gonna be me. Might be me today because I don't know what's going on with my peoples. So today we're talking about, can men handle rejection? And the answer is yes. All right. So God bless. Know that we love you. No. So when it comes to rejection, it's challenging. It's challenging. And I guess the question of handling is, when something happens, how well can you handle it? How well can you deal with it? When you got it thrown into your face, is it something that you can process, deal with, and move forward with? Or do you sit on it and let it stew and it angers you? So when it comes to rejecting, as far as let's just dig right into the relational part. If you're a person trying to speak to or holler at a counterpart, you're trying to start something. Want to be starting something, and you're trying to start something up, and you get rejected. They're not interested. Not even like they're in a relationship, but they're not interested. Can you handle that? And I know it seemed like a trend. I won't say it's not happened when I was younger. I'll say the 90s. I won't say it's not happened because I've seen a little bit of it, but it seems more of a trend to attack back when they're rejected. You ugly. I ain't even like you anyway. I was trying to help you out. What up, Cole? Good morning, my brother. So it's what is your reaction handling that rejection? When it comes to even going out, or in that aspect, or even when you're in a marriage and you're trying to do something, you need your wife to do you a favor, do something, and she says no, and you're like, you weren't expecting it, and the no hits you right in the face. How do you handle that? I know for myself, if the expectation is like, it shouldn't be a problem, it should be an easy yes, but let me just go ahead and ask so we can get this out the way, and you get the no, and you're like, oh wait, hold up, you know, how do you handle that? And I know for myself, it's always shocking when I've expected a yes. It's always shocking when, especially if there's a pattern of yes. When you're told yes, like even your parents, if there's things they've always said yes to when you're young, and then they hit you with the no, it's like, how do you handle it? And as growing up, because we talk about the past, and past rejections kind of fuel future reactions. Those past rejections fuel those future reactions, because if rejection, if you've learned to handle rejection, um, why? Oh, you said, why do you expect a yes? I expected a yes because you said yes before. You said yes before. I asked you same thing, same time, same place, same situation. You said yes before. So I thought this is a pattern, this is an expectation that I've set, unfortunately, for myself. So I expected a yes. I expected every time this is this and this is that. I say, can I? You like, yeah, it's all good. But this time you're like, no, it's not good. And it changes my mindset. It changes, you know, it's a shift, so that expectation. So hold on. So if I do it once, am I always supposed to do it? No. The one time is, let's say it's something that's surprising, like, oh, you said yes. I'm like, oh, I didn't expect you to say it. The second time, if you say yes, with ease, expectations being set in my mind. Let me get that clear. Not between us, but in my mind, oh, this is cool. Third time, yes. Oh, yeah. This is what we call a pattern. This is expectations are getting solidified. I'm expecting yes all the time, as long as the situation is always equal to every time that I've come to you. Cole said, it's all about confidence. If a man expects a no, he won't be apt to shoot his shot. Okay, let's marinate on that. All right. Now it's time. First up, coming to the stage, to the broadcast platform, all the way from Florida, by way of Georgia, the man with the plan, Mr. Reparations himself, Mr. Ephraim, start a fight, bounce, Terrell.
What's going on, AD?
What's up, bro?
Glad to be back in the building.
Yes, indeed, he is back. He said, "Right, those conversations you have with yourself can be misleading." Yes, you are so right. You are so right. All right, and before we keep going, let me get coming to the stage, or coming to the broadcast platform, all the way from Kankakee, Illinois, by way of Georgia. Or is it? Am I doing that backwards? It's supposed to be by way is where they come from.
Yeah. Like, by the way,
my brother, like no other, world-renowned pastor and known to change things, change your mind in one word. My brother, Pastor Brian A. McCory, Senior.
what's going on, Pastor?
How you doing, man? Good to see y'all.
It's an old troublemaker. All right. Now that the gang is here, so we're talking about, as you can see, can men handle rejection? And this rejection, of course, the main rejection will be a relationship, trying to holler at somebody. But we're talking about rejection when it comes to work. We're talking about rejection when it comes to loans, and how do you handle rejection? Period. And so let's dig into a easier. Everyone has probably applied for a job or going after something or promotion. How do you handle rejection when it comes to position? And it could have been even in church, like, yeah, what you call it, left. I see I should be next in line. So when do I start? So when it comes to position, how do you handle rejection? And let's throw it out there where it seems obvious that I'm next. You know, that you're
And
like,
then,
oh
and
yeah,
then you don't get it.
and you don't get it.
Yeah.
You don't get it. You
Yeah.
don't get it.
Yeah. And that's that setup.
Right. Right. And it
Like if you, like you said, it's obvious that I'm supposed to get it, but that don't mean I'm obviously qualified for it.
right.
The rejection comes with the entitlement. Like some positions I want just because this is my natural next fit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how much would it hurt if Pastor said, you know, man, I know you're a minister, but I'm gonna move you back down to deacon because I just see that's the better spot for you right now. So he might be dead on, he might be right, but it doesn't look like that's the right trajectory. Like I'm not going in the right direction. I'm not hearing anything about growth. I didn't hear nothing about development, nothing about all the meetings I've been late to, nothing about that you ain't ready.
Right.
I'm not getting somewhere where I need to be. So I'm going to take everything he's saying in the wrong spirit as rejection.
Right.
Because but he's trying to like look out for me, look out for the church, let me handle it, because sometimes we shoot people up too fast, man, and they're not ready. And when they're not ready, they tear stuff up, because the more position you get, the more I guess power, you're gonna get more power. But at some point you're gonna be over people. You're gonna be responsible for the well-being of people in some shape, form, or fashion. Whether you're a pastor or you're an HR person, messing up somebody's checks.
So, well, I'm gonna ask you. So, personally, have you ever been rejected and been in that position? Like, you should have been naturally in line, but obviously, you haven't handled the current position you had well, and you got slapped in the face. Before you answer that, I got one more person coming to the broadcast stage by way of Douglasville, Georgia, straight out of South Carolina. My brother, Mr. Dwayne, tell it, analyst Goodson.
Hey, I'm glad I ain't in the streets, because if I was in the streets, he just dropped my low.
All that.
Hanging on 4th and 5th between 9 a.m. and 3 a.m.
I see where 6ix9ine get it from now.
You already know.
All right. So yeah, Eve. So personally, have you he said don't call out like that.
You put me all out there.
Put you all out there. Let's talk personal.
Yeah, man. I mean, I done had rejection on every level. It built me. You know, it's the most fun I never want to have again. When you give a girl a letter and she checks, no, I don't like you. Like, what do you do with that? I kept a lot of letters, but I didn't keep those. So it's rejection builds you. It lets you know that the no is possible.
Right.
And I think a good, healthy amount of rejection is necessary for anybody's upbringing. And that's at no matter what level. I don't think you're done with rejection. All throughout every level, you need to be a little let down about something you expected to happen. Mm-hmm. And it will challenge you, because it's going to make you want to say, I'm not going to hope for nothing no more. So I don't have to feel this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not hollering at any female in the club. I ain't going for no job. I ain't going to put out none of my music. I ain't going to write none of my books. I'm not going to do anything, because if I do that, you can't tell me no. When you're looking at Instagram with a post that you put out and you waiting to see people like it, you might be struggling with rejection. You might be struggling with that because you're looking for validation in those things, and it sucks. I remember in college, I played linebacker in high school, and I tried. I'm not super tall, as some of you might not know. So I was trying to make the transition to safety, and it just didn't go like I thought. I walked on, made the team. I'm super excited. You know what I mean? I didn't get heavily recruited at least from the places I wanted to. And then when the summer hit, man, I thought I was going to be in a certain rotation, and this guy over here from Pahokee, Florida, never liked anybody I met from Pahokee. From Pahokee, Florida, came over there, man, and just jumped me in the rotation, and it just, man, it was just crazy. And I look back on some of the things I confessed, and it's just like, rejection stings. It hurts. It doesn't come easy. But yeah, man, I've dealt rejection my whole life, but it made me though.
Wow. All right, Pastor.
That's facts.
Rejection.
When I listen to all of this stuff, I like to change the question, because when you listen to what he is talking about, I don't think you have an option when it comes to rejection.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think the question is, can men handle rejection?
Mm-hmm.
The question is, how do men handle rejection?
Right.
Right.
Because it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
I
You have no choice,
So-
you know, and I think we handle it obviously in different ways, depending on who you are, where you are, what season you're in, all of that, and the type of rejection. I mean, everything is, you know, when you started talking about the church, you know, things that happen in ministry, you know, first thing I said was, you know, I'm thinking about the title. Like, you know, you're a minister, you go back down to deacon. I don't like, you can process it in your mind like that is a demotion, but the reality is, how can you go from minister to deacon? Those are titles, and why would a minister be ranked higher than a deacon when a deacon has all the responsibility of the shepherd for the facility? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so what happens is, I think that the way that we see our perception drives our response.
Right. Yeah.
Right there, boy.
Yeah.
Right. And so depending on how you see what you wanted and how you see yourself, your level of value and all of that determines how you handle rejection. Some people can't take it, but and the people that can't take it don't survive it. People commit suicide.
Yeah.
You know,
and
so that says, well, there are certain people that cannot handle rejection, and it causes them to go all the way out. But outside of killing yourself, you handle it positively, or you handle it negatively, or you handle it crazitively.
You know what? I'm gonna create a book of BOL words that we come up with. Today's word is crazitively.
I didn't ask girls to be my girlfriend when I was young. I didn't do it.
Well, you caveman? Hold on. Hey, you mind? You heard me.
For me, you know, it was like somebody had a crush on me, so I was cool with that.
Yeah.
So you knew when she hit you.
I didn't. Well, yeah, for me, like I didn't like asking people to dance. I didn't like any of that because I didn't like rejection.
Yeah.
I didn't like rejection.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was that dude, you know. I married my wife because she didn't make me work hard.
It's like, man,
I feel what you're saying. It just came out funny though.
Yeah.
It's like you got the keys to a luxury car already, so why go out and look for one?
Yeah, I'm like, I can drive. You know, like,
I got this S600 Mercedes over here. It's in my hand.
Don't give me that paperwork. Don't give me that paperwork.
This the one.
This the one.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is, if you're digging me, it's easy for me to dig you.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm into who digging. Yeah.
But it's funny that we bring this relationship back to women, right? Because this is how I look at life when it comes to rejection or not.
Okay.
I hate losing anything.
Yeah. Right.
If you ever play me in spades, I don't remember my losses well, but it don't happen often.
Right.
I ain't saying I cheat. I ain't saying that. But I read people pretty good. People forget what they play sometimes. But I promise you, when being a 21-year-old man at the club at 12 o'clock, when your boys done got somebody done booed up and they're like, hey, we leaving in like 45 minutes. I'm like, hey, hold on. Wait a minute. I ain't even talking to nobody. You better hurry up. And my boy looked at me one night. He said, bro, who cares if they say no? All you need is one yes. And
I had a brother like
I
that.
started looking at life like, this is what I want. You will never get it by sitting there hoping you're gonna hear no, because hoping you ain't gonna hear no is gonna give you no answer every single time.
Yeah.
So rejection is like Pat said, it's coming. Yeah. It's coming.
And man, I was thinking about,
or do you go get something?
I know Cole was talking about like bouncing back in a healthy way.
Right.
And I was thinking about like how we lash out when we're hurt, because rejection and hurt is synonymous to me.
Right.
And I know some females, I know they keep cars and sugar in the tank and all this. I get that. But like dudes will take somebody's whole life behind some rejection, man.
Right.
Like they'll like women, they do some fussing, they do all that, they do some fussing, some cussing, and they move on. But a dude about his heart, about because it's a strange mix of your heart personally and then pride in front of other folk.
Right.
That's why when you tell me no, I gotta tell you how ugly you is. And because
I ain't like you anyway.
Hurt me, man. It was a shorty, a red shorts, a pink shorts a second ago, but now you the ugliest female I can find out here. And I know we didn't understand when we was younger, but like what the man was saying is, I'm hurt. You know what I'm saying? Man, you just embarrassed me. So that pride and rejection, bro. That's a nasty combination for a man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Cole said, in our youth, if he asks a girl out and she says no, we normally take that as a front on us. Then we go the inappropriate route as a response. Yes. She said, Cole said, I asked a woman out at 18 and received no by insulting her. Wow. 18 years later, I took the no by a woman I asked in stride. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he said, inner strength. It's an inner strength thing. I felt inadequate at 18 and uber confident about myself at 36.
Right.
The Taiwan said, the pastor, she didn't make me work hard. Okay, that couch will be ready for you tonight.
Well, I think you got to realize that sometimes you see something, and while it may seem unreachable, one word changes your entire perspective. There's a connection, right? And when there's a connection, you don't have to work hard. It's really, it takes all the false pretenses away and everything, you know.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I meant by that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been working hard for 24 years.
Yeah,
right.
Still work hard.
Right.
But that night, that the tie I had on that night, the suit I had on that night.
Right.
Tell me nothing.
Hey, did y'all peep E smile when that comment popped up?
Yeah, man.
Did you peep that smile before?
She looked pretty on screen too, man.
Hey, E, don't go in the other room. Give us another 30 minutes, bro.
As she said, I never understood why a male takes rejection from women so personally. Well, because it's it's almost like you're putting your heart out there.
Yeah.
I put my feelings out there. And then, I took the time to think about what I'm going to say. I walked all the way over here. And now you shoot me down. Oh, really? You just going to shoot me down? Ain't nobody talking to you.
Right.
I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to change your life.
Trying to get you on
But to your point.
Yeah.
To your point.
Somebody come get Eddie Kane. He a little heated over here. But I didn't. With me, my thing was, I was okay with rejection if it was personal. When I say personal, I mean in my personal bubble.
From family, you saying?
But when I was at the club
and you didn't know though,
and I get rejected,
yeah,
I don't remember those moments. I'm pretty sure they happened. I just don't remember them. I'm like a quarterback that just got hit. Next play, got to get rid of that. Got to shake those. Yeah, that what they call it, amnesia. But for me, it was personal. I was like, "Whoa, you've been smiling at me. You've been vibing with me." Cause me, I didn't go in until I was like 80% sure it was a yes. So when that 20% happened, I'm looking like, what did I miss? Hold on. I won't trip it, was I, when you was doing A, B, and C on the dance floor? You was laughing and kikiing all night. No, you got a boyfriend. You could have told me you had a boyfriend when you was grinding on me 45 minutes ago. So with me, that's why rejection hurt so much, because I was never to do. I gave it time to breathe. I tried to read.
You didn't do the cold. You didn't do cold calls.
I didn't go straight in. trying to hoping that hey,
for the
we're
best.
gonna set you up with this magazine subscription. I went in knowing that you read Essence for the last 4 years.
There you go.
And all you got is Ebony on your nightstand. So let me offer you Essence.
Right.
Natural
fit.
You were talking to me about all these Essence articles.
Right.
Playing the
all these editorials.
Right.
You don't want the magazine.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it was for me.
Pastor, you wanted to share something. I know it's been a minute. You said
no. I was just going back to your earlier statement when you said when you have that type of attitude about like I came all the way over here. I did this again. It's about perspective, perception. You know how you see yourself. You know, and in a lot of cases, that's a possessive mindset.
Right.
And you open up your mouth and you've just dug your hole deeper.
Right.
You know. Right. When you begin to justify why the answer should have been this or the answer should have been that, what you're saying is, oh, I was supposed to engage with you. Yes. Right. Well, why don't I have a right to go another direction and just say, no, not today or not you, not in this moment. And that's one response to rejection. You're wrong. You should have accepted me.
Yeah.
You know, or why haven't you accepted me? You know, it's not for me to have to explain myself. And this, I tell my daughters that you don't owe anybody anything, you know, because, you know, that pressure to respond in kind is what gets a lot of people in trouble, you know, and it's not just in relationships, it's influence on the job. It's influence in the church because you're afraid of someone not liking you. You'll go along with it, you know, even if you don't agree with it, for fear that you lose your membership card to the group. Right. That fear of rejection. You know, you won't be invited out to lunch. You know, you won't get invited to the card game.
Can you back up for a second, though, Pastor? That the line that you said right before the card game. You better learn how to love you and be okay with you. Because rejection usually, for me, from what I've seen, rejection that seriously damage people, it's when there's an internal issue normally that you're dealing with that you never dealt with. So when the rejection comes because you all kinds of messed up, you completely respond out of kind. You ever seen somebody who was supposed to be good, supposed to be a beast? Like I'm gonna leave Kwame Brown alone. I ain't gonna mess with Kwame. But
high expectations.
Who that?
Like high expectations. Sam Bowie.
Even better, Sam. Or Lynn Bias, somebody who never got the chance. There's some people who got potential for greatness, but potential energy is absolutely nothing if it's not acted upon by an outside force, which causes that potential to become kinetic. If you're not doing something, then it doesn't matter. And the thing is, going back to a conversation that Pastor and me differed on at first, but Allen Iverson in practice. Practice is a part of this life that helps with rejection. You know, when you're going through the motions of practice, you reject ideas that don't work in certain scenarios and situations. The thing is, most of us don't take our everyday life through practice, whether it's a mental thing or bouncing it off brothers who are your keepers. We don't do that. And what we find out is when we practice a lot of things, you get rid of some things that don't belong. You realize timing issues when you practice. Oh, you gotta, like if you say you went from linebacker to safety, right? E?
Yep.
Now from linebacker, you in the box. Your reaction time to the run game is way quicker. It should be, if you're successful, should be way quicker than if you're reacting from safety. But if you're practicing the linebacker position, and you're playing it like a safety, there's things you're gonna miss and you're gonna do wrong because you didn't do what you were supposed to do in that position. So everything that you do is gonna seem like it messes up or rejection. The funniest thing in the world as a coach, when I coached Little League football, is when I put a player in a position. I had to put my hands on him because he won't listen. I'm telling him, he ain't listening.
Right.
So you go over there, hey son, right here. Okay, 3-point or 4-point in your position. Okay, what I want you to do is fire off this ball. I want you to hit him right here and go through him and into the ball. When you see him actually get it and it works, you ever seen the excitement on one of those kids' face?
Yeah.
Or have you ever been the kid that got excited because
figured it out? Like, I think I got it. I think I got it.
Some of our rejection or some of our shortcomings come from because we're not being coached in certain positions, or we're playing out of position and the wrong things happening and you getting exposed. It's not a good look, and it's definitely not a good feel.
Right. So let me read some of these comments. Boom, boom, boom. He said, but it takes knowing your worth to not take it personal and accept the rejection at face value. Sam said, not me. I ain't going along. I don't care.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
She's not going along
at all.
Yeah, she's not the one to kind of hang with the group when they wrong, they just wrong. She just gonna go the other way. Here's something to consider with maturity. When we are with the woman meant to travel life's roads with us, you look back and realize, oh, I should thank that girl for saying no. Right. Yeah. But in the midst of the no, it's kind of hard because you thought this was going to be the yes. And like we talk about position, we talk about job, you apply for it, you look at all the candidates, like, ain't no way I'm gonna get rejected. Ain't no way I'm not gonna get this spot. There ain't no way. And then you find out somebody from outside the state came in and applied for the job, got more seniority. Now you ain't got that job.
and you can't let the rejection make you bitter too. So
when
she tell me no and tell Dwayne yes, I can't hate on that man. Don't be that guy. Or that ain't what is all the man even don't be that guy, because you don't end up looking funny when you're trying to clown that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, he don't even preach that good. Like, come on. the man preaching the gospel, bro. I get it. It's a craft. We do what we do, and we do value craft. And like, if you see somebody doing your crafts, like, I would have done it a little different. I get how he get appreciation for the craft, but when you start clowning the person, like you taking that wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Is there a right way? Is there a right time to clown somebody?
when you watch American Idol, you know what I'm saying? They want you to text.
Ouch, just did. You made me say ouch.
Americans are us. I don't know. People in general, we just kind of critical by nature. Like, if even like in what we do, we critique. We kind of like, hey, so how did she do? Well, how was the cooking? Was it good? Like we just ask those kind of judgment questions. Like you know what I'm saying? So I guess it's natural. I ain't trying to say don't be unnatural, but if you catch yourself like clowning like the person, that's like you wearing that thing a little too much. Like, you gotta shake that rejection.
And 99%, maybe even more. I agree with what you say in sentiment and in deed, but there was one time that, and I'm gonna need y'all to help me. Tell me if I was wrong.
You're wrong.
It sounds like
I got you. I'm gonna just start off with
I'm gonna ask Pastor in particular because he might have been in this situation before. Okay, so I'm a young buck sergeant. That means I just made sergeant. And when you just make NCO, you tend to get a lot of the responsibilities everybody else don't want. So I just made sergeant, right? And I just came back from air assault school, and I'm in the airborne unit, so I got multiple tabs, and I get passed over, not for a promotion because we was ranked, we had the same rank, but a position.
Okay.
And they gave it to another dude. Now the position was the unit's master fitness instructor. This is supposed to be somebody who was among the best physically, but at the same time you can communicate with people. I got turned down for the position for somebody who embarrassed the unit in front of the brigade commander, giving PT, who had about 5-6 years experience on me, but they couldn't talk to save their life, and they were scared in front of a crowd. So in the morning time, when you got 68 people, you got to extend the formation and do PT formation.
Right.
You should have it. I understand I'm new. I understand it.
But I could do it better than him.
He was an embarrassment.
I could do it better.
When you the master fitness instructor for your unit, your stomach shouldn't hang over your PT little pets. They shouldn't.
Sound like some haterade,
not the master fitness guy in the army. It shouldn't. You shouldn't fall out of a run. Somebody shouldn't have to stop in formation and turn 45 soldiers around to come back and pick you up. It should never have to happen.
Why you think they chose him?
I'm salty. It's probably some, I won't say nepotism, but it's probably something like that.
Oh, what? Okay, so but what I get what you're saying. But as a leader, and I know Pascal could chime in on this, sometimes we know the best in somebody than anybody else. Like, you may not have had a chance to see their best, but whoever was the head might have. They know what's there. Because it's hard to really say, like, sometimes some people, once they're in position, that they pop.
No,
like,
they do. Yeah,
it's there. Like, I know it's there, so I'm gonna take the chance and put you in position because I know it's there. You just need to be put in the space to be uncomfortable so you can pop. Because I've seen it and I know it's there. And I know when you're looking from, lack of a better way of putting it, from the bottom up, you're looking like, that dude can't do that. Like, he can't manage that, but it's there. You understand what I'm saying? And and I get everybody watching has been in that position because I've seen it. I was like, man, this dude, I could run circles around this dude, but it's there, and the leader sees something in him, and this is the best space for him, and sometimes they're wrong, but you can't. But unfortunately, you can't be in a position of judgment. And honestly, it just might be your time to serve and be humble.
Now, I agree with that part, that last part.
Everything I said is like, forget that. The last one, I got you.
Like, get that boy off the
stage. Sometimes it really is just that. It's not your time.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all it is.
Right.
Because you look at David and Saul. I'm sorry.
Right.
Saul was playing his position.
Right.
But the only reason David, it won't his time yet.
Right.
But everybody knew that Saul's days was numbered, but David still played his part. That's why I said I can easily agree with you on that.
Right.
I don't know if I could have been David. I don't know because that the type of game he was playing.
Yeah.
That was a different type of series. You trying to kill me?
Yeah,
you want me dead?
He fought through that rejection, not for Saul, but because of who God said Saul was. He was the anointed.
Right.
So it's the bigger picture. It's like getting your eyes off. Like I'm saying, the rejection makes us look at the people, and it's a bigger situation than the people.
Because the rejection it wasn't about Saul and David. Saul was rejecting David, and David all David wanted was, hey, let me serve you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do this for you. But he was constantly for me, it's moments like that makes it difficult.
Right.
When you know what you are, who you are, what you called to do, and everything smacks you in the face.
What about like Saul though? What happened what do you do when God rejects you?
What can you do? I don't think God. I ain't gonna say God doesn't reject, but
he said he ain't my man no more.
I don't think God rejects first.
Yeah.
I don't think God rejects first. I think God gives you the opportunity to choose.
For sure.
Right.
And then after your choice is made, then he makes a choice.
Right.
That's why is it Joshua 1:8? Choose ye this day, where he says, I set before you blessings and curses, life and death.
Right.
And I called earth as a witness. Choose this day, life or death.
Yes. So speaking of choosing, tonight you need to choose Solomon's Temple Christian Ministries.
This guy
At 7:00 with Pastor Brian McCory. We're bringing the word. Oh,
roll the clip.
Oh yeah. We'll be right back after this. All right. Also, tonight at 8:30, the Sisters of Legacy will be on, and they'll be having business segment. Business, just put that up, and I just went look.
We'll get you.
They'll be promoting businesses, the ladies' businesses as well. You definitely don't want to miss that. Some great deals are going to be happening. We're all about supporting. And we talk about community. We talk about building our tribe, and this is your opportunity to support. So definitely check out the Sisters of Legacy tonight at 8:30 p.m. All right, we'll be right back with that. All right, so that'll be tonight. It's a business spotlight. So definitely check it out. Support the sisters in their endeavors. Let's stand behind them and prop them and push them. So getting back to what we're talking about, yes, so kind of changed it up because Pastor, I put it in Can Men Handle Rejection from being he was kind of talking about it last night. But yeah, how men handle rejection is probably more in the context of what we're speaking of, handling when things don't go the way you want it to go. And prior to everyone coming on, I spoke about the expectation of when you've gotten a yes a lot and then someone hits you in the head with a no. I likened it to a lot of times with your parents, situations always the same. Hey, can I? And you always get a yes. And then the first time you get a no, how that feels. So either that situation or even with your relationship, we just go through the motion. Hey, I'm going to do, hey, I'm going, no, wait, and to get the rejection at a time when when you've expected a yes. How do you handle those moments? When the expectation of yes is always there and then you get the no or the rejection. And even with sometimes, we talk about jobs and you've always just kind of moved up the ladder. It's always been your turn, it's in that natural progression. I always got a yes because I'm charismatic. I've always been the head of the pack. How do you handle no when your expectation of yes is there?
Well, man, I had everything I was betting on that yes. Right. I made plans. I got a little fan for my desk and the cooler and the refrigerator. I was, hey, baby. So I was waiting, right? For that, yes,
for the desk and everything.
Yeah, man. Cause we go ahead and make plans, man.
Right.
And it just hurts more, right, when you hope for it, bro. Like when you expect something good to happen, it hurts when it doesn't, because you the way I wrote the script, this thing was gonna play out perfect.
Right.
And it all was dependent upon this yes.
Right.
And that's where we got to get ourselves together, man. Like, all the eggs in one basket kind of mentality. Like, it's crazy that all my happiness was dependent upon one person saying yes. That challenges me, even though today, I was talking about it with my wife about certain promotions and like certain things. I've stuck with a company for a certain amount of years off the word of somebody saying, I got you. I got you. I got
Just
you.
hang in there.
What I'm saying?
I got you. Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the hope of something can help you get through a thing. You know what I'm saying? I look at what I'm going through now, I'll get depressed. But when I look at what I'm headed towards, it helps me get through this,
Right.
Don't get me misquoting the Bible. What Jesus endured the cross.
Right.
Despising shame.
Thank you, sir. Somebody help me out. They gonna think I ain't saved. It's in there.
See, a deacon would have knew that.
Yeah. Right back to deacon, bro. So it's so much promise in that yes. Right. And when you say no,
right,
it seems heavy. It's almost sometimes too heavy to bear. And how we handle it, man, sometimes it comes out violently. It comes out with aggression. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm hating on people.
Right.
It turns something in me because of that no. And some of that no lasts for a very long time. Like I might be giving you an attitude today off of a 5 year ago rejection. And it's like, if I don't recognize that's what it is, some people, I mean, like how you wake up mad. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like we had a homie, we called him Middle Finger. Like he would wake up in the morning and just be like, hey, come on, man, it's time to go. He would just give us the middle finger, like, bro.
Over everything.
Like, bro, why you just woke up, bro? Nothing, you don't even know. You ain't check the phone, the news. Like, how do you know today is already bad?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But as I look back, and that's why I want to call my bro out, as I look back, bro dealt with a lot of rejection. You know what I'm saying? Especially compared to the group.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so if the group was having a certain level of success in areas,
I don't want to see y'all winning.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't. And that's the thing. Y'all can't win because I'm struggling. Bro. Why are we hanging together? What does that say about me? You know what I'm saying? So it's heavy. Rejection is super, super heavy. And sometimes I get through it good, sometimes not so good. Right. But you got to deal with it though.
Yeah, indeed.
It can be painful. Right. That's why reflection is so critical.
Right.
I think somebody said it earlier, really understanding who you are as an individual. It's so amazing that we read the scripture. We always talk about how David was chosen. Everybody emphasizes how David was chosen.
Right.
Nobody talks about the rejection of those other brothers before he got chosen. Like what was going through their minds, like the oldest, it was an expectation, then the next one, and it got all the way down to David. So each one of those brothers had to receive. I bet each one of them felt different about the rejection.
Right.
Yeah.
How many brothers he had? 7,
8.
Yeah. And that the thing is it's so we don't think about.
That's good.
So there's 2 parts to rejection.
Right.
Do you realize when someone tells you no, they have to live with the no also?
I didn't think about that.
Right. Because they know they've disappointed you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's good.
How about that?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We don't look at it through those lenses because as a people it's about what I need. It's about what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm number one.
Yeah. And so we don't even think about the pressure of someone telling you no, because they have no idea what your response is going to be. They're taking a risk by telling you no.
Right.
And so that's why, rejection is always a learning process. Let me, what can I learn from this? Did I fall short or was it just not a fit? Because rejection doesn't mean you didn't qualify. Not being chosen doesn't mean you didn't qualify.
Right. True.
Right. And we take this perception that because I wasn't chosen, I failed.
Right.
Rejection does not equate to failure.
Right.
Right.
That's
And
true.
like
That's
you
true.
you go to the basketball court as a young person, and they running games, they playing games, they're choosing five, first two to make the three, y'all the captains, then you pick, right? And then you sitting on the side and you don't get selected.
Come
You
on,
picked
man.
this fat boy over me?
Look,
You
Yeah.
pick fat
some
boy?
people like, I'm glad I made this shot because I won't get picked.
Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what you
That's
don't
me.
realize,
That's that
yeah,
hurt.
yeah, as much as you're a baller, you're not gonna go to New York
Right.
and go where the ballers ball,
Right.
Ruckus
Right.
Park.
Right.
right?
Yes,
And
indeed.
think you're gonna get chosen. Number one,
Right.
they don't know you. They haven't
Right.
seen you,
Never seen
Yeah.
you.
right?
Right.
And
Right.
even if they've seen you, they haven't played with you.
Right. Right.
You understand?
Right.
You
That's true.
sometimes
Right.
all of your talents are sitting at the wrong basketball court,
Right. All right.
right?
All right. All right.
Yeah.
That's
It
good.
doesn't. You didn't fail. You just in the wrong zip code. You at the wrong court. You in the wrong
Right.
face.
Yeah.
Right.
You're going to get. There is always acceptance, just like there's always rejection. And how we respond, how we process rejection is what makes or breaks us, because rejection is going to come. It's going to happen. And I think it's important that we learn from it. I think it's important that we remember who we are. I think we talked about that. Self-awareness, the pride of self, and all of those things. Yeah, absolutely, Sam. Take your talent somewhere else, because somebody wants you, somebody needs you, somebody desires you. You're going to fit somewhere. Right. It just didn't fit here. That doesn't equate to failure. Not always.
Can I say this?
Yeah, go ahead.
You reminded me of one of my close friends, Travis. Rest in peace. But when we were kids, Travis had a heart condition, the same heart condition that killed Pistol Pete Maravich. He was the first person they found it in him alive. He collapsed on the court. He was a verbal commit. He verbally committed to North Carolina. He was going to be a Tar Heel, and he collapsed on the court. Wow. And we learned something about rejection during this process, because they told us, they said his heart was 2.5 times larger than what it was supposed to be, and the valves were set up backwards, and his heart was working 150% harder than it was supposed to. Some crazy numbers like that. Long story short, his heart overworked itself by the time we turned 15.
Wow.
So he needed a heart transplant. Now, here's the thing about the way doctors look at this. They do testing to see if your body is going to accept certain antibodies that's coming from a blood type or a new organ before you get it.
Right.
Because naturally your body rejects anything foreign to your body.
Right.
So when you're talking about another heart, even when they find everything that lines up,
right,
it's not gonna, you don't have a lifetime with that heart. You have 10 to 15 years, 10 on the low side, 15 on a good side. And then you're looking for another heart, or it's you possibly, God, just go ahead and take me now. Right. But he lived an extra 11 years, got married, and had 2 children.
Wow.
But even though he got a second heart, his body rejected it over time. So all I'm saying is, when you're where you're supposed to be, you're in the fit that you're supposed to be in, it works. Because rejection, most of us understand the no. Right. We get that rejection, but we don't get the overtime rejection. We don't get the years. Like he said, I'm glad I thought about it. He said, I've been at a company off of the strength of somebody saying, I got you.
Right.
Sometimes we don't see the rejection that's happening over a season of our lives, because we stay in it and we seem to have life. I'm thankful Travis had an extra 11 years living, but at the same time, his body was still rejecting that heart all along. So I want to just point out, when handling rejection, sometimes it's not the obvious rejection that we have to focus on. Right. Sometimes you need other eyes to look at the situation. AAD, bro, I know you see me acting funny lately. Yeah, I got this going on. I got that going on.
Accountability.
In the back of my head, I'm scared to tell you that, man, I'm beefing with my wife right now. So I'm in my feelings, and when something happens, I'm off my kilter a little bit. But I ain't tell you, but that's what's going on. Rejection can do that, because that slow rejection will play mind games with you. I'm telling you, you're not prepared for those things when you haven't looked at them and identified them. So sometimes you got to take a step back and reset and assess your situation where you are in life. That's all autopilot is. It's adjusting course. Autopilot in an airplane is not flying directly towards the point. They put in coordinates, and as it's flying, it's steady correcting itself. Oh, you're going this way, come down. You're going this way, come down. You're going this, and it's steady correction over time. So sometimes the rejection that we have to pay attention to isn't the glaring stuff that's in front of our face. No promotion. No, I don't want to marry you. No, I don't want to be with you. It's you're in a situation. You seemingly have life, but what's the outcome of it?
Right. So Cole said something very poignant. He said 100E, he said that's another can of worms as far as rejection, old rejections that many people still walk around with. I know we've heard in 1969. Here we are in 2021, and we're mean mugging. Like I've worked and I've heard people like, nah, I ain't going for that promotion. They keep telling me no. They're just giving up the fight, giving up the process. Just I don't want to hear no anymore. And it's crazy because it's like you're missing out on opportunities. If you can just find a way just to handle the no and move forward, then you'll open yourself up for an opportunity. Because most successful people have been told no millions of times. This won't work, that won't work, and they've had to find a way to work around it. Like those that say no, like my four brothers, is I'm like, hey, why don't we try it? Like, no. So I gotta take that and say, okay, I gotta find another way to do this. Like I still see myself doing this thing. I can see we can make this thing work, and it's difficult. I know when you're around the closest one to you and you get the rejection. You just want to crawl in your hole and I'm fine. I'm gonna just live my life like this,
But that's what you're saying is the most important. It's sometimes it's not the number of rejections, it's the who.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. If Pastor like, bro, I don't like the way you mix that audio track.
Right.
I might be like, all right, that's his opinion. But if Pastor be like, he hear me preach and be like, bro, you just ain't got it. Like, dang, Pastor, I ain't got it. Why? Because I value him in a certain way, right? And like, it's crushing. I put him up here, same guy. But when we change categories, go like this, like, man, I don't care what Pastor say about no music. What do you know about this compressor I got going? Like, but when he say like, nah, you ain't do blah blah blah, I might take that heavier. So a lot of people don't hear no all the time. Right. But imagine hearing, oh, baby, you be cute if you from your mama. You know what I'm saying? I was watching this documentary about light-skinned, dark-skinned women. They were telling all these different things. And the girl said she was riding with a mom. She said she was very young. And her mom said, baby, you'd be cute if you were just a little lighter. And she said it messed her up, man. Ooh. It messed her up. It messed up big time because of who it came from. Right. And I'm pretty sure the mama did not mean it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to be careful with how we say things. You know what I'm saying? And that don't mean that she was abused. Sometimes we say silly stuff to people we love. Right. And it can be damaging. Don't even know it because you don't know how they took it, how they heard it. Like, look at you. Look at the things you can remember. Why do you remember a spanking that you had when you were 6, but you don't remember nothing else that happened that week? Like certain things just stand out.
He said, "You don't like my track. I'm erasing everything and bouncing. I'm out."
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh, so yeah, that is true. And I think, but consider this: sometimes those kind of rejections, sometimes they come from a hurtful place as well. Like it's something they've been told. Something they've heard. And it's kind of sometimes we inadvertently or even purposely put a chip on our children or other people's shoulders based on the rejection we felt. You'll never have because you don't. You'll never do because just like me, you're not, this is all you're ever gonna be. You know, and it's those things, because we got rejected, and the rejection becomes generational. You know, we reject the others. Like, let me put your life in perspective. You never, because folks like you from Florida never, just like me, I'm from Florida, and I never. You know, like, so,
and the thing is, AD,
yes, sir.
is that we're being conditioned,
Right?
Because all you know is what you know, what you see.
Right.
You don't know anything else.
Right.
So you take broken functions,
Right.
and it's like a person who,
right,
everybody they ever seen drives with the e-brake up in second gear.
Right.
That's all you know. So you drive it, and you can do that.
Yep.
But you're gonna mess a whole lot. You're gonna mess the brakes up.
Eventually.
You're gonna mess the transmission up.
Right.
You're gonna mess your engine up.
Right.
Yeah.
But you continue to drive that way because it's all
you know.
I know you've been around people who've done it in real life.
Bro,
Like,
and we've asked people to marry us. We've asked people to get in that broken car. And come on, girl, let me take you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't going nowhere.
I mean,
Wow,
and no offense, AD, but this is the first time I ever seen it in life.
What's
My boy Anthony Cora was from the Bronx.
Oh.
Okay. And here we are, 20 years old, stationed in Kansas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas,
Okay.
which means you got to drive an hour anywhere to go anywhere. Right?
Right.
So it was my weekend on the A's drink. And Cora was supposedly the DD.
Right.
We thought we done played everything got until we got to the club and it's time to go. Hey, Cora, you got your license? This is why we're on I-70 heading back east to Fort Riley.
Wow.
He was like, because I'm in the back of what was it? What Chevy used to make Trailblazer. I'm in the back of the Trailblazer in the back, and we hit a bump on the interstate, like we hit train tracks or something. I'm like, instantly sober. Hey, bro, where your license at? Where you get them at Walmart? I ain't got no license. I'm from New York, son. And I'm like, whoa, you got a car full of drunk people with no license. But we all assumed he had license because he was a mechanic. Wow, and he was driving Humvees all day. So
you would think.
Surely.
He found out he didn't have a license.
Yeah.
That was the scariest drunk ride of my life.
And you weren't even driving.
And he thought we didn't think he was doing anything wrong.
Right.
And we didn't realize it until we felt danger.
Right.
That's most of us.
Right.
That's most of us. We don't take time to know where we getting stuff from or where our expectations are. I mean, I sit back now and I'm like you said, I'm thankful I got some no's. Or was it First Lady? I'm so thankful I got no's early in life that I was pissed about. There was no's that had me heated, like, oh, this is what this is about. That's what and then later on, I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
Thank you. I missed that one.
Cole said, Michael Jordan basically said his relentless basketball nature started from when he was rejected from joining his high school varsity team. Yes, indeed. Yes. Your nose can definitely turn you around or make you even stronger, because sometimes you're told yes so much you think you're on top, and you're really not. You're really not. Oh, he said, Lady McCory said, I take the word no and flip it around and say I'm moving on to something else. Very good. I like that.
You think it was easy to work with, didn't you? Yeah, I see. Look at it.
Oh, but listen, we're about to get out of here. We appreciate you guys rocking and hanging with us. Thank you for a cousin of Legacy E in the building. Appreciate you being here with us. And we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, same time, same channel. Join our text community, and you'll find out what we'll be talking about in the AM. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576, and never miss an episode. So tonight, make sure you check out Solomon's Temple Christian Ministries with our very own Pastor Brian McCory, and as well as Sisters of Legacy with my lady Samantha Wilson Walker in the building. Let's see. Love you too, Cole. Appreciate you for always rocking and hanging with us. We look forward to seeing you in the same time, same channel. As always, be safe. Know that we love you, and God loves you more. I feel like I need to announce something else. Listen, I need you guys that are listening to be prepared for the the call in. We're gonna start doing a call in session. So you guys just get ready, because we're going to want to hear you guys' voices and ask questions. Because sometimes I know typing, you don't have enough space to type. You got a lot to say. So you guys get ready for the call in. And we're going to be shifting this show. It's going to be changing and morphing. And we want you to be a part of that change. So make sure you text the community, LWN to 84576 as well before we get out of here.
From Richard. I got to hear that. Richard from Wales. I want to hear that accent, man.
Right.
Call in, Richard.
Right. As we grow, we would love to have you assist us in that. Cash App was $BOL 2019. Cash App was $BOL 2019. It helps with the efforts to keep this broadcast going and growing. All right. So we appreciate you. He said, all right, TDJ, get ready. Watch this. All right.
Hey, Pastor, go ahead and do what he told you. You don't want to happen. David's lane.
What's that?
He was about to preach. He said, watch this.
Oh, watch this.
That wasn't TD Jakes.
That was Eddie. That was Eddie Long.
Eddie Long.
Watch this. The Bible says. All right. Always know that we love you, but God loves you more. Stay safe, guys. We'll see you in the AM. I didn't want to catch that. Good morning. Welcome to another edition. Good morning, everybody. This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. Ready to go live? Go to bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. That's bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. This episode is also brought to you by Self. Build credit now. Go to bit.ly/now build credit. bit.ly/now build credit.